I think the last recorded information about the state of the private jet was presidential jet was when Dr. Mahama appeared in Parliament as defense minister to provide an update why the president is not using the jet. And he gave all kinds of information, including the fact that the entire aircraft is virtually corroded. So I believe anybody Google, you can see what the kind of reason Dr. Mahama gave and the kind of description he gave about the presidential jet, why I think that it's not safe for the president to fly it. Anybody can Google it. See, in this country, we've done presidential jet politics. See, just like petrol politics and other things, we've done presidential jet politics in this country, and that is why we are where we are. I have always said that there's no way we should play with the security of the president of Ghana.
True.
And under no circumstance, it is not negotiable. Look, if your president should die in an aircraft, do you know the consequences for the nation? It has serious ramifications. So it's something that nobody should politicize. But as a country, we decided to make presidential jet a political issue because it ends people vote. It started with President Kufuor when he came to power and said he's not going to use the presidential jet bought by former President Rawlings, the Gulfstream.
The Gulfstream.
His reason was that the procurement process was not subjected to parliamentary approval. So he thinks that since Parliament didn't approve the purchase, he thinks there's something wrong with the purchase, so he won't use it. And he sold it. Under President Kufuor, we sold the presidential jet, the Gulfstream. So that is where the whole event started. So when President Kufuor during his era also attempted to buy presidential jet, the NDC also said, no, if you sold the one, it doesn't matter the reason, we also not allow you to buy it. So it became a major political issue, which led to NPP losing the 20. It was one of the reasons NPP also lost 2008. But President Kufuor ended up ordering the presidential jet, two. One big one and a small one. And the rationale is that the big one will go for long haul flights and the small one will go for short haul flights. But because the NDC did a lot of propaganda with that, that Ghana is poor, the people are hungry, no, why should we buy two presidential jets and all kinds of things. When they came to power, President Kufuor didn't have a chance to sit in the presidential jet. The president came in when NDC was found under President Mills. I remember the late John.
One out of the two he had wanted to.
I remember because when they came, because of the propaganda they did, now they cancelled the purchase of the big flight, the big one, which is supposed to be the long haul. So they cancelled one and they accepted the smaller one. And when Joseph Henry Smith went to commission it, it became a big issue. I remember we talked about it that you and the NDC government, because Joseph Henry Smith was then the defense minister, you people said that A, B, C, the people are hungry. Are people still not hungry? Why are you now commissioning? Why if you cancel the big one, why don't you cancel the small one? It became a major issue, but they said at the end of the day, the smaller one. Because we didn't have a bigger one to go for long haul flights and the smaller one to go for short flights, we're using this small flight for all long haul flights and the short haul flights. So we're actually overusing the aircraft.
Right.
So after 8 years, the plane virtually was not something that anybody would recommend that you should use.
Right.
Then Akufo-Addo came. He started using it. And incident upon incident, and the recommendation of the Ghana Armed Forces that, look, we need to replace this thing because the state in which it is, even if you send it to repairs and they say they work on it, within 6 months, because you are using it for almost every presidential trip, within 6 months, the problems all have come back. And you need to be spending money to go and repair. So we should buy a new flight. When the issue was tabled, the NDC said never, they will not support it. And because of the advice, the president, Akufo-Addo, who was not lucky to have a brother who has a presidential jet, now has to be renting presidential jets.
Private jets.
It became a huge topic where Okujeto Black will sit on TV, on radio, and be telling the whole world, Akufo-Addo is on this flight, is leaving this country to this place. He actually made it his duty to be tracking it.
Yeah.
All kinds of things were said. It's part of the reason Ghanaians voted against Akufo-Addo because they said Akufo-Addo was living in luxury. He doesn't want to enjoy. We were told that the president was in pristine condition. They said the president is Ghana president is one of the best in the whole of Africa. So if Akufo-Addo is not flying, it's not because it's bad. It's because Akufo-Addo just loved luxury. And unfortunately, when the defense minister was asked to come and defend in parliament, he also went to say, oh, the Ghana one, you can't bath in it. They say, Akufo-Addo wants to be bathing in there. So when it's raining,
he's taking showers in the sky.
Akufo-Addo is bathing in the sky. That's why they want that. We said all kinds of things in this country.
Yeah.
So nobody expected that this particular government will complain about this presidential jet. But I see facts are fact and reality is reality. The same advice that has been given to Akufo-Addo while he was hiring private jet, the same advice that has been given to Mahama that if you want to follow politics and say you want to use this, you could die.
Because the jet is not in a condition
something that you should even rely on. So you see, the very advice the defense minister gave, for which reason Akufo-Addo stopped using this flight and decided to be using a private jet, because he was not fortunate to have any brother who has a presidential jet, a private jet. When NDC use it for votes, now you win the election. The first year we have ordered for a presidential jet. It will be delivered in November. We already placed the order. They are working on it to be delivered in November. So they are questioning all the campaign propaganda against NPP simply because this is not good. And now you said it is in pristine condition. They put the president in. You, the ministers, who did that? Why are they not fly the presidential jet? See, we must learn that. See, there are certain things that we should never subject to partisan politics in this country. But because once we realize that you raise the issue and there is public sentiment against the government, then we keep hitting that place because we need to hit against public sentiment against them to win an election. That is where we are. So for me, I've always said that there's no way we should have been doing this all these years. A president's security should be the paramount interest of every Ghanaian. And therefore, for me, I don't see why anybody should want to do any politics for presidential travels. Okay. Right now, people are saying the NPP vote on our app. Why is Ibrahim Mahama, his president brother, is using his president plane? We should be grateful to Ibrahim Mahama that he even agreed that his brother should use our presidential jet. Because the amount Akufo-Addo was paying for hiring, if we are not paying and we are only buying fuel, are we not saving Ghana money?
We're saving, indeed.
So if the man's brother has a president, say, look, until the Ghana one arrives, use mine. Instead of us being grateful to him, we are attacking him because the NDC attacked the NPP. So we cannot say because his brother gave it to him, we should keep quiet.
So it's just the politics that
it's just politics. But you see, I've told people, me when the president was even taking private jet, I wasn't comfortable. Not because he's hiring it, not the cost, but I'm not comfortable because I ask myself, this is a private jet, some private businessman, and they go and hire his jet. Do you know the kind of recording devices that must be in the aircraft? If somebody wants information about Ghana, somebody can go and pay somebody to put a device in that before you go and rent it, if they know you are coming for it.
True.
And on the flight, the president and his team will talk about a lot of things about Ghana. They will say a lot of things. When they are even going, they may be discussing what to go and say at the place, and all kinds of things are said on the flight. So if somebody needs information about Ghana and go and put any recording device on that plane before you go and hire it, you think you have a secret as a nation, and your entire secret will be in the hand of somebody, and the person can use that for any reason, including even terrorism. So for me, if the brother's plane is what he's using, I am more comfortable with the brother's, but I believe that the brother will not want to do any espionage against Ghana.
True.
And therefore, if the president is using his brother's plane, I think that if for nothing at all, we should be saying that thank you to Ibrahim Mahama, because if not for that, one would have been spending more money to hire a... Because if you look at the letter Callistus Mahama has written, do you know the final end that you should have said? You should have said, we are sorry to Akufo-Addo. But he refused to say that.
You admit.
It's just of apologize to Akufo-Addo that with the benefit of hindsight, we didn't know this was the situation. And therefore we criticize you. But having been in government now, knowing what it is, you are right not to fly the presidential jet. You are right to hire the private jet. How would you have gone with that private jet? Because you look at all the reasons adduced by Callistus Mahama in his letter, it's just a justification that Akufo-Addo was right not using that the presidential jet.